Hello guys, this is Trade of the Day. Today I'll be going over some missed opportunities that I didn't get a chance to trade. Now these happened actually today and yesterday, but I did want to cover them because these are very important setups to understand, and not just the setup, but also what's behind it. Why do these things move this way? So I thought it was very important to cover. As a reminder, this video is for learning purposes only. So this is what I call the classic pump and dump, um, especially because it's traded over the counter. As we all know, OTC stocks over the counter are the worst of the worst companies. A lot of them are fraudulent, fake, don't even make money, um, and they're just scams. But they do present opportunities to trade. Now, what really happens in this type of classic pump and dump, usually some companies, some marketing agencies start promoting these stocks, start sending out newsletters, all sorts of mail, pretty much just promoting the stock that is going to go to the moon. And if it hits, if it gets momentum and people start buying into it, it does. As you can see, CNBX, it was literally trading 47, 80, 70 cents, on January 31st, and it went to $7.60. We're talking about over 1,000%. Actually, similar pattern to MT and excuse me MNTR. This went from like $1 to like $4.80. So similar patterns. Actually, the funny thing about these, they're actually in a similar industry. They're both pharmaceutical marijuana or medical marijuana, as we all know. And actually, some of them say they actually sell recreational marijuana. Now that the state of California and other states like Colorado is legal to sell weed and smoke marijuana recreationally, I guess it's a good way to pump this thing up. So um, that's what happened. So the thing of how it works, pretty much, early birds, get the worm. When it comes to these setups, people who are to buy in the first during the first round of promotions, usually the ones that get the ones who have the highest probability to make money in this. Because sometimes these fail, sometimes these may go from $1 to two or $1 to $1.50 and then fail. But if it's a good promotion, it will keep going and go crazy. But be careful. These are literally scams. That's why they call pump and dumps. Classic pump and dumps. So and it's also kind of hard to short early if you don't understand how the setup works or you're not ready because you could also get short squeezed. So it could be difficult too. Um, but the main reason why I actually missed this trade was not that I didn't want to short. I did. I didn't have any shares. So when you don't even have any shares, well then you can't even short it. So what's the point? But there are some brokers. I do use Interactive Brokers, but there are others. Like Centerpoint Securities, sometimes E Trade, or even I guess you could say Speed Trader. Actually, even Interactive Brokers sometimes have shares like these, but because these are such high probability setups, because traders who short these know these are just garbage. Most shares are pretty much taken. These are some of the highest probability, highest reward to risk ratio trades out there. Where some traders be making six figures or more. Uh, on these type of setups. So that's the reason why I wanted to bring them up. Because look, they're down like 25%, almost 30% just today, which is insane. So, if you're not able to get in the front side, hey, you can get on the back side. And it's actually easier to predict the back side than the front side, just so you guys know. So that's why I wanted to kind of bring that up. So the main reason why I missed this trade was because I didn't have any shares to short. So on CMBX, I would have loved to short actually on Wednesday, on February 22nd, when I saw momentum reversing. I mean, it did gap up and break over previous day high, and then it went below it faded off on this flag and went below previous day high, and then it went red. So that's where I would have loved to short, right there. When I saw it going from previous day high to below previous day high and going red, so that shows a huge momentum shift or trend shift. That's what I was shorted, and I would have just held my shares until maybe this is the type of trade you could actually get like a 5 to 1, even up to 10 to 1 reward to risk. So imagine like risking $5,000 and making like $50,000. Yes, it's possible, guys. There's traders who will risk $10,000 to make $100,000 in this type of trade. So it is possible, guys, in this type of setups. It's insane, but yes, you could do it. Again, you do need a lot of guts because these things could all of a sudden reverse on you. So it does take practice, but with practice, that's how you get better, I guess. With time, you get better, I guess you could say. So I just wanted to cover that because again, I didn't have shorts, any shares to short, but in the future, I just wanted to kind of cover this trade because it's a really, really good setup. It's a parabolic pump and dump classic. There's another one, MNTR again, similar. So actually, this was a little bit different type of setup. Yesterday, it actually kind of gave a lower high, as you guys can see. It kind of trended up all day, and then it kind of went below the VWAP and consolidated, and it would pull up some higher lows, and then it created a lower high. So this was a little bit different. If I were to trade this, I would have shorted the day before, and I would have hold the next day for some sort of like sell off or flush for the next day because there usually stocks don't trade during pre-market and the over the counter, so you have to wait. Now, if you guys can see, there's no shares traded pre-market. Well, actually, here there are, so I'm actually kind of surprised here. But yeah, some shares were actually traded here pre-market, but usually OTCs don't trade pre-market. You guys know. So this is what happened. Created a lower high, and this is what I would have shorted. I would have shorted after this lower high because the previous day high was actually probably around here, 372. So it never even came close to 372. Actually, kind of close here, but it didn't go below that. So it didn't give me an indication there was a trend reversal. But here, when it created this lower high, that kind of showed me that a momentum and trend may shift. So I want to short and I guess hold for overnight to see what happens. And then that would have been the spot to actually short. So it would have been actually right here. This is where I was shorted, right there. And then again, look to cover for a 5 to 1, 10 to 1 type of setup. So actually, I think this thing has a lot more room to go. I think this thing could go to 2, even to 1. Honestly, it could happen. Look at this. First day of red, it lost probably like 50%, and then today it kept going down. So these are the type of setups that once the promotions are done, once they stop selling those promotions, those newsletter emails, those mailers, there's no more buyers. When there's no more buyers, hey, insiders sell out, and guess what? Everybody wants to get out, take their money, everybody at the same time, and it just crashes, So it's an insane moves, one of the most profitable setups. Actually, I think is the most profitable setup out there, the pump and dump. And again, I wish I had shares to short. Hopefully in the future, I'm able to get a better broker like Centerpoint Securities, which do offer a lot of these very hard to borrow shares to short. But they do have a lot of fees and they're more expensive. So if you're not trading with big size, then it's kind of not worth it, And I'm not there yet, Although I am getting pretty good at this trading, I'm not at that big size yet, where I feel comfortable paying fees and monthly, other type of fees. There's a lot of fees with these type of brokers, so I'd rather wait. And Interactive Broker is actually one of the most affordable brokers, and it's actually really good. Sometimes they do have shares to short in these type of setups. They didn't have it for this time, but again, in the future, when I do start trading bigger size, I will be getting a bit better broker where I could have shares to short. So hopefully you guys learned something from this setups. Again, these are the classic pump and dump. Now these are for learning purposes only. Um, Also, a little bit of a warning: these type of setups are very risky in terms of going long, because these are all literally scams. So just giving you guys some advice to be careful with these mailers. If you guys get mailers, promoting stocks, it's gonna go to 1,000%, 2,000%, most likely a scam. So be very careful with that. Honestly, the best setup and these type of things is actually on the backside. On shorting these. That's the highest probability if you know what you're doing. So again, remember, this is something you have to that takes a lot of time and effort and knowledge to really bank on these type of setups. But at least bringing the awareness of how these things work, I think could benefit some of you guys, new traders, in the future. So just keep it on the lookout, guys. Do your research, take your time. Again, all the trades you guys made are on your own. Again, I actually recommend you to practice. Do paper money trading, which is for free, to get your practice. And again, and all of this type of trading is all on your own, guys. So hopefully you learned something from this trade, from these setups actually. If you like this video, please press like, share it with your friends who are interested in trading. If you want to see more videos from me, hey, please subscribe to my channel. You guys will be hearing from me soon. Thank you.